Okay, move it this way. More. More. Yeah, perfect. Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the energy shift that is going to be happening today. It is Saturday, February 13th, and today Mercury moves into Aquarius. So let me talk about this energy shift and what this means for you. So when Mercury moves into Aquarius, this is aligning your thinking and the way that you interpret your environment with this like energy that is just super quirky. It aligns you with the authentic views on life. You have a very unique perspective. You really want to look at the pros and cons of subjects that you're interested in, and you're actually really into the con because you want to dissect the con of the particular subject that you're interested in, so that you're well versed in both aspects of that subject. You're exceptionally observant in this energy. More importantly, this is projective energy. So you're looking at something and you're looking at it from a future outcome. And so if you're looking at something the way that it stands now, you could have a very unique perspective on it enough to know that either it will take you into the future or it won't take you into the future. And this could be something that is somewhat unexpected. So for some of you, there may be, you may be counting on the way that somebody's thinking, and all of a sudden they change the direction that they're thinking in, and you're going to be like, okay, where did this come from? I thought we were going in this direction. And you've communicated that you were going in this direction, but you're not. That's a type of energy that can come out of this Aquarian-based thinking. It is a different perspective. You may find that you're much more controversial. You are much more debatable in this energy. You kind of like debating for the sake of debating in this energy. Just to get a rise out of your partner and just to test the waters. This is sometimes the fun in this energy is just throwing something out there and seeing what emotional reaction generates from it, because you can remain detached because you were the one that initially threw this crazy mindset out there. Your system of learning and communicating may make no sense to others. So this could generate this strong emotional reaction or opposition to what you said. And then in that, it creates the debatable energy, and it opens you up for this topic that may be difficult to talk about. But under this circumstance, it's actually something that energizes you to want to embark on it, because there's just this combative tone to it. It creates enough emotional reaction in you to make you want to go, okay, so here's the deal. This is the way I see it. And there's a play off of that energy, and it's something that you may actually enjoy, just shaking things up a bit in the way that people think. Excuse me. You may be fair-minded. You may believe in equality, but you like to look at the illogical side of it and bring it out and bring it into perspective for other people. This is beautiful energy. It's very ahead of the times thinking. So for some of you that are testing the waters on the way that a relationship is going, or the mindset, or the direction of somebody's mindset, or the direction of the way that you want your goal to go, what you may do is throw out some really insane comment that opens up a discussion and lets you really dive deep into the psychological thought processes of where their mind truly is. So let's say that you're a person who wants to see where a relationship is going. And this relationship is just humming along at the same speed. You haven't talked about marriage, but you're thinking marriage, but you haven't actually talked about marriage. You may throw out some comment about, well, you know, 1 and 2 marriages don't ever result in divorce. So I actually don't believe in marriage. And even if you do, you're just bringing out the controversy involved with the institution of marriage. And in turn, you're trying to see what the emotional based reaction of your partner is so that you can see, like, are they ever thinking of marriage with you? Because you are, and you're getting some sort of strange play on the answer that you're seeking. It's not manipulation. It's just playing with your prey. Have you ever watched a cat catch a mouse? When a cat catches a mouse, they grab it and they're going to eat it, right? But for a really long time, they play with it and they bite on it enough to wound it so it can't get too far, but they let it go. And then they go and they bat it around a little bit, and then they bite on it a little bit more. And then this little mouse is so frantic trying to save its life. And the cat's just like, I know I've got this mouse where I want it, but I'm going to play a little bit and see what's going on with this mouse. That's the type of thinking that you're in when you have Mercury sitting in Aquarius. You're playing, you're thinking, you're trying to decide, but in the meantime, you're playing a little bit. You're dabbling. You're looking at it from a unique perspective, and you're trying to see, if I stretch this boundary, what reaction does it cause? That is so Aquarius, by the way. You don't even know that's the way that they exist in general. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to be right back to tell you how this is going to affect your sun, your moon, your rising sign, and you might want to check out your Mercury sign for this one. Hi Aries, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now today, I love this energy for you because Aquarian energy really relates to where you have this particular energy shining brightly in your chart, where it's the energy is pointing to. So for you, your ruler is working on this very transformative part of your chart where it's asking you to stretch your boundaries. That's all Aquarian energy, by the way. So Venus, Pluto, and Jupiter are all sextiling your ruler. And this is all about lovely conversations. You are actually caught in a very high vibration of this energy. I think you're just feeling like you want to make some changes and you want to move forward in energy. And so this is resonating deeply with you. So in order to have a leg up on the competition, you may have to listen to the opinions of those you normally wouldn't validate. So you get caught in these very regimented ways of thinking, and you validate the sources that you feel will either follow or will help you ascend in your leadership, in any sort of leadership dynamic. However, there may be this little underdog that may be quite appealing in this energy, that has some special messages, has a point of view, has some information that could be quite crucial to you wanting to move forward in your career, life, path, destiny. Maybe there's a resource that tells you how to, write off all this stuff in your taxes, and, it works for them. And so, it's somebody that you can trust enough as a valid source for you to be like, well, I could get away with that and, get this really great tax relief. It could be somebody in a social circle or somebody that's attracted to you in social media that has like can provide you with an opportunity that I don't think you would have necessarily approached or wanted, but this unique opportunity actually has the potential to manifest a wonderful change, a transformative change in your life. but it's coming from an unusual source. And I think you guys want to be aware of limiting the sources that you trust and validate in this energy, because unique sources are going to be the key to all of this, especially if it's coming from, if you're hearing something from social media, if you're hearing something from a friend or from a friend's friend, somebody who you may not normally hang out with, but this friend has this, you know, really hot source of information, I would really, really trust this. This is moving away from like these limiting belief systems of like, you know everything. You don't know everything. And believe me, there are sources out there that are willing to teach you if you open up your mind enough to accept the information that's coming in. So you are very perceptive at work and in your closest relationships. You may be attracting unusual friends and unique opportunities from a variety of sources. You may be focusing on an opportunity that is not avoidable at this time, but maybe you have had a hard time trusting the source in the past. It's one of those energies that you have to trust your intuition and you have to feel it at the time that you're feeling it. So, you know, this is a source regarding work. It could be somebody that has some sort of information that's crucial in you getting ahead, and they're trusting you with some sort of secret, and that secret is just the edge up on your competition that you needed. That's highly possible in this energy. You know, you may have heard that a secret about a friend breaking up. Maybe you've had a thing for a friend, or maybe that friend has had a thing for you. So either you broke up or a friend has broke up with you, or, you know, maybe it's a friend of the relationship that you were in that heard that you were breaking up. There could be some sort of unexpected source where it brings about the potential of an opportunity, either in a work-based relationship, a life path destiny, or it could be in a relationship that you align yourself with that takes you to the next level in your life, some sort of union, some sort of partnership, somebody that's attracted to you in that very unusual way. That's very possible in this energy. I think that hope and destiny are creating opportunities if you are very observant. So what this energy does is it really activates the part of your mind that is it develops unique perspectives. So I noticed that, okay, so whenever I am in tune with a planet, I'm in tune with their energies. I noticed that I go on kicks with whatever energy is. So right now I'm kind of on these kicks of like unusual pictures, unusual, like I go on social media or I go on YouTube and I just search and I just watch all of these things that test the boundaries of like religious belief systems, paranormal. Like I like this stuff and I'm really in tune with that in this energy. So I believe some of you are going to be mentally stimulated with wanting to gather information from different sources that you would normally not turn to in this as a means of trying to analyze something, but you really want to really consider all options in this energy. It's a beautiful energy. You're in the high vibration. It's moving away from, it's moving toward the future. I believe that some of you have these hopes, dreams, and wishes that are just on the horizon. And I believe that a source could come out of this, or some sort of information or some sort of message about how to move forward is very possible if you can seek sources that are outside the normal sources for you. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Taurus, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. And for you, this is happening in that very expansive part of your chart still, where you're really looking at your goals and you're really asking yourself to align your life and your focus and your thinking and your relationships with future outcomes, with, you know, developing that part of your mind that says, where am I going from here? What do I want? How do I attain it? Like, those are the questions that you're asking yourself. And when you activate that part of your mind, what you invite in is a lot of relationships, significant people, unions that really honestly answer some of those questions. Now, you may be having lots of conversations that is making you reconsider some of the ways that you would normally move forward. Now, you like a conservative approach, but this energy is anything but conservative. It is spontaneous. It is, the messages could come out of nowhere. Unique circumstances could come out of nowhere. You could reconsider and redirect your thinking, and that could just suddenly shift as something is motivating you to move in a different direction, possibly intuitively in this energy. This has the flavor of a career life path destiny. But it also has the ability to expand potential. So for some of you, this is going back to school. For some of you, this is changing the direction of your career. For some of you, this is changing the entire path that you were walking upon originally and aligning yourself with a partner that changes your entire perspective. And this partner may be like one of those partners that just, you know, doesn't fit the normal mode for who you would want to seek a partnership, but they're expanding so much of what you are passionate about that you are feeling aligned with the source. This has a lot to do with, as you're moving forward, I think what this is doing is releasing you from limiting belief systems. Remember that having faith is the key in this energy. So if something comes up and you feel, and the key word in this is feeling, because I believe that you're a highly intuitive soul by nature. You're in tune to the earth and all the five senses, especially the vibration of tangible things, of things you can touch, of things that have mass. And so I believe that you're very intuitive to energy of the earth and of the universe and of the vibration of all of that. So it's hard to trust this stuff because it's not something that you can validate from a scientific source. And that's what you want to do. You want to validate everything and move forward. But there's your gut. Your gut is telling you that moving forward with this particular partnership, or in this particular mindset, or maybe blurring the boundary, or maybe just doing something a little bit different, or maybe aligning yourself with that person that expands this part of your life, or maybe an authority figure or a mentor or somebody that you highly respect. You're starting to follow their mindset because it's really stimulating you to think about things on a little bit different level. And that is all this Mercury-based delicious energy. So Mercury is conjunct with your ruler right now. And when Mercury is conjunct with your ruler, it's asking you to really honestly adapt to a brand new mindset, to really look at things, and you want to talk things through. But I think the way that you're going to be talking, you're going to be testing the waters. You're going to be that person that you're thinking about expansion, but you're going to be kind of indirect. I think what you're trying to do is make up your mind. And some of the ways you may make up your mind is by bringing up some sort of, controversial subject, just for the sake of bringing it up, because it really honestly energizes a part of you that you're really thinking about, but you're not ready to truly make that decision. And so if you bring up it in an indirect way that brings up a little controversy, adds a little spice to the conversation, I think you're going to get your answer that way, which is something I think you're a little bit more comfortable with at this point in your life. Okay, so on a negative vibration in this is that Some of you may want to go back to school and further your education and study abroad. And so there may be some resistance to that. There may be some hesitation as you start to stretch these boundaries. Some of you may be seeking relationships that don't have the normal conventional relationship stigma attached to it. So say you're in a relationship where you just intend to live with somebody forever. You don't actually intend on getting married, you know, but you're secure and you're happy, and you don't see the need to define it as a relationship where I'm a boyfriend, you're a girlfriend, or you're my future wife, or I'm going to get married, or you're not having conversations like that. There is some sort of unspoken peace in the fact that you guys are these two independent creatures existing together with common goals that are creating a foundation that you actually feel some sort of strength in. And that's just strange for you, because normally you're very traditional, and normally you like to possess and own, and you feel the need to define, and it's almost like you have a territorial need to define it. But in this energy, you don't. In this energy and in this mindset, and many people are moving forward in the fact that they're stretching their boundaries. They're wanting to remain independent but create structure. They're wanting to move toward a goal, something that they're very passionate about. They want the reliability of the relationship, of the partnership, of the union that creates stability, but they don't want to, you know, put all of their chips on black or on red, you know, and then throw the dice. They're not ready for that in their life. What they're ready for is just the peace and the serenity of knowing that there's just a companion that gets you and moving forward. You know, I think you're trying to make a decision about moving forward. I think what you're trying to decipher is this a romantic intention, or is this something I can truly see spending the entire rest of my life with? It's a really big question for you. But I think that the burning question that you have on your mind is bigger than that, is what is your purpose? Why are you here? You've got to figure out the basics before you can bet everything and put all your chips on black or on red. You know, so I think there's a lot more going on than you're letting on. So here's where you fall into the lower vibration. Don't get lost in the details of the relationship. Don't feel the need to define. Don't feel the need to shake things up so much that you pull yourself into this really serious conversation that you're not altogether ready for. Because you could shake, rattle, and roll this relationship, and you can rattle and roll your relationship right out of the structure that you were trying to create. Be patient, sit back, enjoy the show, like enjoy the fact that there's peace. It doesn't have to meet these conventional standards to be you know, happy. You can meet, you know, maybe you're testing your boundaries, and you know, maybe there's either some unconventional thing having to do associated with this relationship. There's some sort of international aspect to it. There's some sort of distance in this relationship. There might be a long distance relationship associated with this. There might be something that is not socially acceptable about this relationship, but all that just adds a lot of yummy juice, and it just makes it all the better for you. But beware of being fearful, because when you're fearful is when you want to possess, own, and dominate and label the relationship that you're in, or the path that you're going in, or the mindset that you have to have in order to move forward. Like, you don't want to define it yet. This is not defining energy. This is explorative energy. This is expansive energy. This is the energy that as you're moving forward, you've just got to understand that looking back is fear. Moving forward is absolutely beautiful energy. You're releasing yourself from past pain and past areas where you used to sabotage your own future. And you're moving forward, and the water is clear. If you don't stir it up yourself, if you don't add the problem of your own insecurities to this situation, because then you create a lot of volatility and drama, and you may actually ruin the entire prospect of this. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Gemini, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. And for you, this is your ruler, okay? And your ruler is sitting in this very expansive part of your chart, and it is conjunct with Venus in this very transformative part of your chart. So when we take these two energies and we add them together, what we come up with is the fact that in a positive vibration, this is about solidifying your home and family, setting up positive rituals that allow you to have some sort of solid foundation. Basically, all you need at this point is some sort of solid foundation where your twins can come back home to and they can meet, right? This is a buzz. This energy is a buzz for you. It is a fellow. When we get into energy that accentuates air energy, what this creates is a lot of stimulating energy. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of, okay, I could do this, and then 1 minute you could do this, and then the next. There's so much energy pointing you in all different directions, which is creating and stirring within you the momentum to want to make some changes. So what you're doing is moving away from some sort of energy that's holding you back, some sort of mental restriction, some sort of way that you were doubting yourself. And this is the energy where, okay, I've defeated whatever I was, what I thought was my mental limitation. I've overcome where I thought that I needed to overcome. And now I'm ready to actually transition and move forward in a positive way, in a progressive way. So what this does is aligns you with key relationships that guide you. These are transformative. Some of you very karmic relationships. Some of these are soulmate, and some of these are even those twin flame relationships that are going to take you to the next level in your life. This is regenerative qualities. This is, taking you from that energy where, you didn't have a lot of solid foundation to make any decisions on. So you were kind of all over the place, but you're not there anymore. Is that you have enough foundation where you can explore the thought processes that you're having. So this is about thinking about where you want to live, thinking about the routines that's going to create success. This is about maybe buying a home. This is about moving. This is about, renovating where you're currently at. This is about expressing yourself. Maybe you moved into somebody's home, and when you moved into somebody's home, you didn't have the ability to express yourself in that home. This home just is all about somebody else. It could mean that you feel strong enough to where you're releasing yourself and you are starting to feel that sense of security enough to have an opinion, a unique perspective to where you should go in this family dynamic. It also allows you to establish the fact that you're connecting to this relationship or connecting to this outcome, connecting to this partnership and this union that has the possibility of paying off. But before you do that, what you need to do is make sure that you've considered everything. This could be a very unique relationship, and so for a long time you may have struggled with how you define the relationship mentally. And for some of you, it could be an international relationship. It could be a relationship that has distance. For some of you, this could be a relationship that, has some sort of friend aspect to it, and you're taking your friendship to the next level. For some of you, this could mean that, it's just that relationship where there's such a friendship establishment or association with this that you don't know exactly where you stand, but it doesn't even matter, because the bottom line is that you think this person is propelling you, this person is encouraging you, this person is a mentor of some sort of strength. They add some sort of stabilization to your mental thought process. And that's super valuable when we don't know where we want to align ourselves with. The negative vibration of this is that as we're going through this, as we're walking away from, as we're moving toward something that is a future, often what you can do is then hesitate and retreat. You can retreat, you can pull back, you want to hide, you're not ready, you feel like you haven't thought everything through, and that there's more that you need to consider in this energy. So for some of you, there's just a sense of hypersensitivity, of vulnerability, of the need to define, put a label on it. You know, you need some sort of confirmation that the way that you're moving forward is in fact going to provide you with a solid structure, or you're not going to move forward, because you know what, you've done this before, and in the past what it was met with was just this, you know, you put faith in something and it didn't pay off, and you can't do that again. And so it makes you feel reserved and hesitate and want to withdraw and want to just protect yourself. I would steer away from that energy. Progressive energy is risk-taking energy. This is all about taking a risk. This is all about, if you want to know where you stand, then I suggest doing it in an indirect way. Because indirect communication is really intense and beautiful in this energy. So if you're wanting to test the waters without truly having that deep conversation about, hey, are we exclusive? Where are we going? You know, what's our future look like? Like, do it in a way where you're like, you know, I saw this show, or you watch this show together and you bring up subjects that indirectly answer your, or make some sort of controversy where you start to talk about it and you guys voice each other's opinion, and you start to see where their mindset is, and you start to see if you're aligning yourself with somebody that truly has the potential or has the mindset that you are supposed to have your mindset with. That will bring some peace to many of you. And I believe that it will transform the direction that you're starting to move in. Understand this is very progressive energy, and as you do this, this is stretching boundaries, comfort zones. This is, you know, commitment energy as well. Even though Mercury is moving into Aquarius, and that's more independent thinking, I think that you're starting to wonder what the direction or what the contribution that you have toward this family union, toward you know, sharing the resources. Maybe some of you in this particular energy are starting to think, well, okay, I moved into this family dynamic. This family dynamic needs me to make this much money. Like, what can I do to like add enough shared resources to this situation? That could be some of you. Or for some of you that are thinking about going back to school and this partner's encouraging you, how do I get a loan? This person could have some really good information about how to get a loan. You know, they could help you set up your loan. They could do a lot of things that really manifest, but you've got to like have these weird conversations, these uncomfortable, these controversial conversations with somebody. It's time to fine tune and get the details out that you don't really want to deal with. This is very brave energy, and I think it's beautiful energy for some of you that are ready to embark on these really positive conversations with your partners or with anybody, even a source that you normally wouldn't talk to. Maybe you need a friend, maybe you need somebody to talk to that gives you a unique perspective about what you should do, how you should move forward, somebody that you trust, a resource. Usually this comes from a friend in this type of energy. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Cancer, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, let's talk a lot about this because I believe that you're in an energy building situation. So initially, when I look at the ruling planet, your ruling planet is sitting in Taurus, but I believe energy is building toward next month's lunar eclipse. And so what does this mean for you? When we have Mercury, the way that you think, moving into Aquarian thinking. It's really important to acknowledge where your thought processes are at this time, because that is the energy moving forward. That is the building. So some of you are starting to experience these intuitive signals of direction. It's very directional energy for you sweet little Cancers. And it's frustrating because as you feel the energy building and that there's that sense of knowing that something is coming, that sense of knowing that you feel the cumulative energy starting to build, there's a need to withdraw a little bit, I think, in this energy and assess where you're at. So I think what you're trying to do is align yourself with hopes, ambitions, dreams, the way that you see that your life moving forward. And this is caught in this beautiful, gorgeous conversation at this time when the energy transitions. It's having a beautiful conversation with Piscean energy. So I think you're trying to align yourselves with a desire, a hope, an idealistic outcome regarding your career, life path, destiny, and aligning yourself with what you hope it to be, or what the end result that you hope ideally is supposed to be. And so I think you have a strong foundation. You're very settled right now. I think that you have a strong relationship with yourself. I think that you're very empowered in your own mind and with your own thought process. For some of you, you have very strong relationships, mentors, authority figures, people to lean on. You have people that look up to you or that you look up to. Very positive role models at this time. And so I think what that's doing is energizing you to think of that next level of your life, that level where we sit back and we go, okay, I want this outcome. What is it going to take for me to get this outcome? And so what I think you're trying to do is release yourself from the knowledge of the past. We're moving away from, anytime you've got Neptune sitting in Pisces having this conversation about your career, life path, destiny, you're thinking about releasing yourself from insecurity, from places where you hold yourself back, you compare yourself to the past, you compare yourself to failure. And it's just areas of your life where I think where you truly limit yourself and your potential. So there is a sense of confidence, being unique, standing tall, standing out in this energy. That's brave energy, but it's very transformative energy for you. So for some of you, I think what you need to align yourself with in this energy is that there are times in our lives we've got to make some big changes, and you are in a part of your life where you're starting to make the big changes. You're moving away from past pain. You're releasing yourself from the knowledge of it. You're actually individualizing yourself and really standing on your own 2 feet. I think that this is about, you're in consideration of the past, but you're really focusing on the new beginning. You're not about moving forward headstrong and being all heart-based and emotion-based. You're about moving forward and being very deliberate and really just very in tune with your intuitive side of this. And this is about making a decision. I think you're in that energy where you have possibilities, and it's time to just make that decision, or at least make the decision that there is something better for you in the future. Now, understand that when we're caught on all this Aquarian mindset, when our mind is in tune with Aquarian mindsets, this is about looking at things from a different perspective. This is about being very, very observant, intuitive. You're very, very observant to what your gut and your intuition is telling you. This is about the belief that you are out here to make a difference and to help others, and that you know that there is a gift that you have. This is about the ability to look into the future and attach to a future outcome and not your immediate environment. I think that that's the most important thing. You know, when people tell you that you can't, I think that just makes you more determined in this energy, especially in this mindset, to believe that you can. So, a negative vibration in this is you're very sensitive to the change that's coming. You're very sensitive to the fact that, you know, you got to make a decision, and it's risky, you know, and it's something that is going to move you away from something that once comforted you, once brought you some sort of familiarity. There was some sort of predictability about what you're moving away from, but more importantly, what you're moving toward is a little sense of it's instability, it's unpredictability. The future is unpredictable. Unless you got a crystal ball sitting in front of you that actually gives you some sort of visual image, you don't know what you're attaching to. And that is scary when we move towards something. When we make the decision to move away from and move towards something, toward peace, towards stability, when we submit to energy and have faith that the outcome is going to be different than our present circumstance, that's very, very difficult for some, I would say for most, to really embrace, but for you especially, because there's this intuitive need to want to make this change at this point, and you don't know where it's coming from, but it's divine, it's intervention, it's something that's telling you that there's something more in store for you, and you need to have faith, trudge forward, move ahead. And honestly, it's about shaking your life up, your mindset. It's about messages coming from strange sources, and you validating that and not thinking that you're crazy or not thinking that it's strange, but that it's actually a message that solidifies that there's a need to move forward. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Leos, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, the Sun is in Aquarius and Mercury is in Aquarius. So woo! Are you spicing your life up? You are looking at things from a different perspective. Your brain, the way that you're looking at relationships especially, is in this very unique perspective. You don't need to define anything. You're probably, you could be playing. Here's the funny thing. You could be living with somebody and you could not think that you're the boyfriend or girlfriend of that person. Oh my God. Hi, baby. You can put it right here. This is the kind of relationship that I think what it does is it really stretches those boundaries of conventional relationships. This is digging energy. So for your fire to burn really brightly in this energy, I think what you got to do is not want to possess, own, label, or even understand your partnerships right now, because your mindset is, they're just expansive opportunities at this point. They don't need to be defined. They don't need to be designated in any sort of way. I think where you fall into the negative energy of this particular of energy is if you start to, okay, say that you want this home and family situation, you want to define it, you want to get married, you want to possess it, you want to label it, you want it to be conventional. I think for some of you in this energy, if some of you are in established bonds, I don't believe that this is exactly that perfect time to do that, to have those conversations. So I believe that you're making a decision. And I believe that there is a little bit of instability in your structure in the way that you would normally see things, but we're not in normal energy. We're an energy that really really expands our term of normal. You know, I think for you to feel very secure in this energy, you've got to grasp your intuitive energy. So you don't look at a relationship and think, I need to have a discussion about it. I need to have this big confrontation about it. I need to really have it defined. It needs to be my way. It needs to be conventional. None of that is going to be supportive in this energy. What is going to be supportive in this energy is that you follow your intuition. If it feels good, right, is this key to any energy. I think for you to trust your intuitive responses to where the direction of relationships are going, or the directions of this home and family situation is, if you're trying to, like, say you want to, you know, move in with somebody, you want to create a home, you want to create a different outcome, you know, it doesn't have to meet everybody's standards. It doesn't have to be socially acceptable. I mean, as long as you feel that there is some sort of peace about where the direction of your life is going, and I say that this is all in like partnerships, unions, and relationships, it's because it's sitting in your 7th house right now. And so, and we have all this unique Aquarian thinking that likes to stretch boundaries in conventional relationships. It likes to, you know, there is no, like, I don't know if you know like anything about like Goldie Hawn and gosh, what is his name? What's Goldie Hawn's man's name? He's hot. Kurt Russell. That's what I was trying to think about. Kurt Russell. You know, they've been together, had children, absolutely together for umpteen years, and they don't believe in marriage. But legally in the state of California, they're married. Because they've lived together for so long, they've cohabitated. But the conventional form of marriage, they don't actually believe in that contractual form of marriage. And so I think that that's important for you to understand that you can have a success in all types of relationships that test all types of boundaries and actually give you a strong amount of emotional fulfillment. This isn't about defining your ego by possessing and, you know, defining that relationship in some sort of conventional system. It's about stretching the boundaries. It's about, you know what, look back. What did you do wrong? If if it was all ego-based, the need to possess and the need to define it because you wanted to prove that this person was yours, then that's not supported in this mindset. And moving forward, it's going to be a lot of individuating yourself in relationships. So this relationship is not going to define you. You define your direction and your thought process independently of your partner. This is a very independent, this person is going to encourage independence in your relationship. And the ability to express yourself and the ability to define yourself in a very unique way, your role. But it doesn't have to be in that, oh, I have to fit into this little box in order for it to be accepted by everybody and me and as well as everybody. It's a beautiful energy. The negative side of this energy is you can get a bit obsessive. You know what? I grew up with this conventional relationship. I grew up that, you know, I had a mother and a father and I had, you know, and we got married, we had a contract, and this is the way that I grew up. But it's, you know, I can bet you there was some sort of dysfunction, some sort of psychological deficiency that happened in your family that makes you want to solidify this foundation to this degree. I can almost guarantee it for some of you that are working in the low vibration, because you have this obsessive need to want to change this based on, you know, what you didn't have. So if some of you are strong, futuristic, progressive thinkers, then it's not about creating that outcome that defines it in quite that way. You know, what it is about is it's about stretching the boundaries and creating progression in the fact that you know intuitively that this person is the one for you. That's the high vibration of Mars in Scorpio energy, especially when it has anything to do with this family dynamic. Now, say some of you are starting to deal with you know, some sort of issue that has to do with childhood. This is facing fears, you know. So for some of you, this is facing the fact, this is walking away from the past and moving toward the future. Moving away from and making that decision, that conscious decision that you don't need a family approval. You don't need that classic conventional relationship. You know what, if you want to move in with somebody and you want to test the waters, and the way that you test the waters is by jumping off the cliff and moving in with somebody that you barely know, you know, that's supported in this, that's high vibration in this energy. It is about aligning yourself with the correct partnership. So intuitively, if you think that you have something here, I bet you do. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Virgos, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, this is in an area of your chart where you are dealing with your routines. And we have Jupiter in Virgo conjunct with the North Node dealing with your routines. So you are making some changes, some life-altering changes, some work changes, maybe some career, life, path, destiny changes, where you're really honestly trying to define that side of yourself. So Mercury, your ruler, is being affected by this event, and it is moving into a very beautiful part that releases you from conservative mindsets and constrictive thinking, and it pushes you forward into this progressive thinking that's very expansive and that tests the boundaries and allows you to really take a look at alternative sources of information. It's very resourceful energy for some of you that are trying to make decisions and you're not getting that answer that you want. Perhaps some of you are, you know, looking at some, you know, technology, and the way that you're receiving your answer is through technology, or at least a message through technology, or at least, like, you know, it's kind of like sometimes when I'm sitting online and, you know, I put in a video, like I don't know, like I watch YouTube incessively. I don't even watch TV all that much. Well, I don't watch any regular TV. I watch Netflix, but when I watch TV, I'll like put on a YouTube video and then it just launches me into like all these suggested videos. And before I know it, I find some beautiful message in thinking. And the way that I'm finding that this energy is starting to stimulate me, because I have a lot of, I have a pretty significant Virgo placement, is that it's really expanding my way that I view things, and it's confirming it through unique mindsets as well. So I'm not the only one that thinks this way. I have a really dear girlfriend, went out with her last night, and when we were having conversations, her and I viewed relationships the same way, and I have my Venus in Virgo. And so it was just a confirmation, you know, that my perspective on relationships is much like her perspective on relationships, and it's not so unique after all. It's probably just a lot of influences about the energies that's out there. So for you, I think you're making decisions about how you want to progress forward, how you want to expand, the ways that you seek pleasure, and so what you associate pleasure to, I think, is super important. So for some of you, you could have had this, you know, the only way you sought pleasure was through affirmation, through like major authority figures, which, and I'm not going to lie, it's beautiful in this energy. It's all conjunct sitting in there with Mercury. So it is encouraging you, but I believe that there's an energy that's motivating you to stand out, to stand tall, to, you know, a lot of times what you do is you work behind the scenes and you work diligently, but people don't notice the details that you attend to. I think what this energy is going to ask you to do is stand tall, stand out, and do something unique that puts you in the forefront of their mind, especially when we're talking in some sort of career, life path, destiny, some sort of aspiration like that. Another thing that you may want to do in this energy is you may want to spruce up your appearance. Why don't you do something that really honestly makes you stand out? Buy an outfit that you normally wouldn't buy. Why don't you cut your hair in a different way? That is like, whoa, where'd that come from? Like, or dye it a different color, or like something so Aquarian. Like, we've got the sun in Aquarius, we've got Mercury in Aquarius right now. Like, it's the time to stand out. It's a time to move away from collective thinking. It's a time to make yourself known, because what this is doing for you is, in that, it's creating opportunity. It's creating future-based perspectives. It's creating it's tickling somebody's mind. You know, put a picture of you. Okay, so say you're normally this conventional person online. And, you know, why don't you put a picture of you just hot as hell? Like, normally you're conservative, you kind of like to just blend, you like to have that whole family. Why don't you just look fracking hot? Or vice versa, if you're the type of person that's always like trying to get a whole lot of attention because you're, you know, one of those Virgos that, you know, are overly expressive with your appearance, why don't you tone it down and be a little bit more conservative and kind of have the whole sexy librarian or like that business, like, you know, males can look really hot in a suit that's like, it doesn't really show their body, but for some reason you just want to rip off the tie in the suit. Like, it's kind of like that energy for some of you. Just do something different. Do something unique. Stand out in a way. Voice your opinion. You know, if you have a great idea, express it. Even if it's not well received, it's better than blending in and being oblivious to what's going on, people being oblivious to you anyway. Negative vibration in this is that this is hard, right? It is hard for you. Okay, you know that you're valuable. You know that you have something to give, but every time you take a risk, it's always met with some sort of limitation or judgment or restriction. And as you look back at your past, and as every time that you've got brave enough to do this type of mindset, it's been met with resistance. I don't care. Like, stand out every time. You know, this is Aquarian thinking. They're unique. They like to challenge. They like to create controversy. So if you're really trying to tune into energy when energy is peaking, well, you know what energy is peaking is just odd. It's different. It's speaking your mind when you normally wouldn't. It's like bringing up subjects where you're like, whoa, 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 not okay with me that you discussed that. How is that coming out of you, who actually always anticipates the impact of what you say, has the potential to create some sort of emotion-based reaction? You challenge that. This is challenging energy, and it's fabulous to do so. What that creates, unfortunately, and your body resists this. It's very hypersensitive to this type of challenge because it's going against your grain. But in the same sense, as you stand out and as you look different, as you have a different take on a subject, you're highly intellectual. So this energy has the possibility of making you stand out enough to get noticed. And again, if we're trying to progress and move forward and attain a goal, then this is all about that mindset where you have something special to give. If, you know, we don't want to go to the market. You ever go to the store, you look on the shelves, and there's like, you're trying to buy ketchup, and there's like a zillion types of ketchup. Like, why can't they just make one fracking ketchup? But here's the deal. You know about Heinz ketchup, right? They've marketed enough. You know it tastes good. So you avoid all the ones that kind of blend in and actually probably have all the same components as regular Heinz ketchup. But I just really love ketchup. So I used to put ketchup on everything. It's the only way I would eat anything when I was young. So that's why I'm using the ketchup analogy. But it's kind of like that. Like Heinz ketchup stands out because it's had enough marketing, you know, it's had enough recognition, you know, everybody uses Heinz. You go to everybody's, you know, refrigerator and everybody has Heinz ketchup in there. So it has a recognition. You need to stand out like that and make yourself marketable, make yourself seen, and do something super unique. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Libra, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, you know, I really like this energy for you. This is a risk-taking energy. This has to do, for some of you, with your home and family, possibly moving away, taking a risk and moving away from where you're currently comfortable, where maybe from a comfort zone in a particular career aspiration, and stretching the boundaries, open yourself up to, you know, some sort of controversy that can make you exposed and get you noticed. Venus in Capricorn is going to be conjunct with Mercury in Aquarius, and it's going to be conjunct with Pluto in Capricorn. So to me, this suggests that for some of you, you could be expressing yourself. Maybe you redesign your home, and maybe you have a new desire, a new way that you're trying to express yourself. You're developing a new mindset. And in your home, you're trying to reflect upon that. For some of you, that's very possible. For some of you, you are thinking about taking a risk that expands the boundaries of your jobs. This could be a job that is actually something that makes you have to move, makes you move closer to home or move away from home for some of you, move away from an authority figure. Maybe there was a mentor that creates an opportunity for you. This is somebody that you've sought as like a fatherly figure, somebody who has steered your career in a specific direction, but you need to move away from that stable source and test the boundaries of what it's like to move away from this person, so that you can, you know, seek some sort of comfort independently. This is very independent energy. For some of you, this is about valuing yourself to walk away from a situation that I think is causing some sort of volatility or unstable outcomes in your life. So there's a lot of energy going on. Okay, so you have this beautiful vision of this idyllic mindset. But I think what you're doing is you're constricting your life into this picture perfect view. You're even it's almost like you have this idyllic view that can never happen, because I think what you're working off of is some sort of deficiency at this time. For some of you, what it is that the source that you grew up with, this is an authority figure, this could be somebody who has a strong masculine energy, created this sense of, if you have this means that you're successful in life. But I think that as you're moving forward, and you're finding that relationships can create a very challenging energy for you. They're mirroring deficiencies, empty buckets in your life where you were deficient as a child, which you're hungry to feed that part of you. And I think what you need to start doing is, I think you need to develop the independent side of your nature. You need to develop the side of you that creates the structure and the solidity on your own. Now, you're a partnering energy, so this kind of goes against your grain. But if you're going to stand tall, stand firm. Some of you are having to stand up in your homes against somebody who was an authority figure. This could be if you're living at home and you're young, you're standing up against a strong, dominant, masculine energy who empowers or overcomes or tries to control the potential outcome of the way that you think in your home, or everybody thinks in their home. This could be somebody that is a mentor and is trying to control the direction of your career. And that is not where you see yourself, and you need to break free from this controlling source. For some of you, this could be someone that doesn't allow you to be uniquely you and express yourself. You're different. You're breaking the mold. You're stretching the conventional restraints of the dynamic that you're in. You're taking risks. You're fully embracing the risk type of it. You're wanting equality. You're wanting the source in your home, or the person that's trying to overpower you, to understand that there's a sense of equality that is being demanded upon at this particular time. So you're moving away from the knowledge of this person has any kind of control over you, and you're releasing it, and you're moving toward the fact that you have all of the power to change your destiny, all the power to move away from, and you're individualizing yourself, and you're breaking free, and you're rebelling against. This is beautiful energy, absolutely in a high vibration if you are tapping into any of these resources, because I'm going to tell you why. Aquarian thinking is like the ultimate rebellion energy. It is the energy that tests laws, that tests boundaries, that brings up controversy to shake up things and add a little element of surprise. So for some of you, for some of the people in your life, this could be very surprising. They're not used to this side of you, but that's okay, because that's all. We have a Sun in Aquarius and we have Mercury in Aquarius at this time. And so that's what it is. It's about shaking up the norm. You have the ability to set a trend. You're not following along anymore in energy. I mean, come on. The Pluto-Uranus squares were all about you being the leader in your own life. Okay, so, it really is truly about walking away from the past, walking away from what doesn't serve you. It is about walking toward the ability to remain in control in the sense of somebody trying to control you. You know what? A good Aquarian understands the game. Like, they understand how to manipulate. They understand how others manipulate them to get what they want. They compartmentalize very quickly. They are very observant about their surroundings, and they understand fully where they're at. And there's no getting one by a really observant Aquarian. So that's what you are in this energy. You're just super observant. The negative aspect of this energy for you is that, there's a realization that there's a need to break free from. And in this energy, what you may be feeling is that a partner is controlling you, a mentor, a union. And this doesn't have to be that partner at home, but I think for many of you, what it will be that challenge. I'm used to being the head of the household. You are secondary, and you're going to demand equality. You pay part of the bills. You do all of this work. You are this contribution to the family. You deserve equality in your life and in your family and in your circumstance and in progression of this family, of moving forward. There is a need to solidify this, and this will be the type of energy that makes you stand up and demand that type of equality. If somebody is living in an unfair expectation, you're about balance, and you understand that when life goes out of balance, you need to be the one to put it back in balance, and you're not scared in this energy. This is very fierce energy for some of you that are working in that vibration. Somebody better not mess with you, because you know what? You're evolving. You're not stuck in attracting a relationship that's karmic anymore. You're stuck in the fact that, this is my requirements for my partner. and I deserve equality, and I give this contribution, and I better get it back. And you're not scared in this energy, because this is the rest of your life, and you're looking back at your relationships and you're thinking, I've dealt with this crap before. I'm not doing it anymore. So if we can't resolve this now, I have no problem walking away and moving forward to something that I do deserve. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Scorpio, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now, we've got a very interesting situation, but I am completely delighted to say that we have glorious energy pouring into you. This is a beautiful event for you. So Mercury is moving into Aquarius, and it's moving into exploring possibilities, expansive opportunity. It's aligning your thinking with the fact that you are able to voice your mind, stand out, and be unique. And nobody is more unique than a Scorpion-based energy. So I think what's key is that a lot of times what you try to do is you try to hide your perspectives under a shroud of protection, and you only reveal it to the sources that you feel deserve your trust. But I think you're moving away from that mindset. You have the knowledge and the security that it doesn't matter who accepts you, or the fact that, you know, in the past you haven't been able to relay information very effectively. I think you're starting to feel secure. Your home and family foundation is starting to make you feel like there is some sort of control over the way that you communicate. There's been some challenge for quite some time for you to manifest this part of your life, and I do believe that for many of you, the manifestation that's happening in this part of your life is beautiful and completely effective. Now, I believe that some of you are feeling extremely close to a neighbor, a relative, a family member that's a sibling, or somebody that you even see as being family. This doesn't have to be the stereotypical blood brother or blood sister. It could be somebody that has that sisterly or brotherly quality that really is providing you with the foundation for some of you that don't have that actual, you know, biological bond. But there's something that's going on that's creating some sort of solidity. There's actually some sort of recognition from an authority figure in this type of energy, especially if it has something to do with taking care of some family business. If somebody is seeking you out that's that's an authority figure in your home, and they're coming to you when big family issues coming up, that's letting you know that everything that you're doing is, you know, being well received. I think that this energy is giving you confidence to look forward, confidence to move away from the past. You're looking at the fact that I think some of you might be thinking about breaking free, moving away from. You're ready to take these steps because I think you've healed and poured a lot of energy into the deficient parts of yourself, to where I think that there's some solid foundation moving forward. I think that, you know, you're very in tune with some of the partnerships and unions that you're building in your life. These people understand you on an energetic level, and in a very, very intuitive level. I think some of you are connecting. I believe there's a lot of healing going on in your homes. I believe that some of your immediate relationships might be helping you with that. I believe that you're experiencing a lot of pleasure in your life, and I believe that there's a sense of the fact that taking a risk always pays off. I think the negative part of this energy for you that you may want to move away from is the fact that you don't want to fall into rituals. You don't want to be accepted, fall into rituals that may provide you with acceptance, but not exactly keep you in that high form. Remember that you're trying to break the mold. You're trying to stand out. You're trying to originate yourself from collective thinking. So don't go along with something that you don't feel is a true reflection of yourself. And I believe that if you're really in tune with Aquarian Sun and Aquarius and Mercury, then you're not ever as stereotypical anything. You're very unique and very outrageous in this energy. And I think that that's what people are starting to find magnetized. It's such a magnetizing thing for me when I see an Aquarian turn on, because they just are like magnets. Like everything is energetically connected to them, and they can't help but attract energy, even if they don't want it. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Sagittarius, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, of course, your ruler is conjunct with the North Node, and it's all working in that 10th house sector, really expanding the part of your life that has to do with your career life path destiny. More importantly, it's pointing you north, it's pointing you ahead, it's pointing you forward. Now, in this energy, we have something interesting. So Saturn is squaring off with Jupiter. So we're having a battle of the wills of the teachers. So Jupiter loves to be benefic and nudge you and encourage you by blessing you. Saturn loves to teach you by freaking shoving you off a cliff, throwing up an obstacle, kicking your ass, and taking some names. And it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I believe that Saturn in this energy is exactly right. I believe that you've been training out energy for a really long time. You're feeling valued. You're feeling encouraged. You have a partner that you can rely on. I think there's some sort of recognition that's happening. I think there's some sort of monetary gain that's happening in most of your lives. And so what the hell is the motivation to move forward when you have everything going your way, especially when you have your ruler supporting and working through some of the past-based issues that you've had? And it's like you're shedding your past at this point, and even that is a blessing, right? Even that is like the biggest gift that you could get. Here's where I find it incredibly interesting. Saturn is saying, F that. Like, in order to get this person to do what energetically they're ordained to do, what's destined, how they're destined to lead, how they're destined to set an example, they need to be pushed. They need to be shoved. They need to be, for lack of a better term, they need to be kicked in the butt so that they can move forward a little bit. Because, and this has to happen in ego. Because that's where it has to happen with the Sagittarius. It has to happen in ego. It has to there needs to be some sort of in-your-face response. You have to be not accepted in a way that you perceive it as being a lack of acceptance, I guess is the way that I'm trying to explain this. So in order for you to change, in order for you to have the outcome that you want, you have to move away from being a know-it-all, knowing that you think you got it down. You think you figured everything out. Well, you haven't figured everything out. When your ruler's sitting in retrograde, there's stuff to figure out. Even though this benefic planet is sitting in retrograde, it can have it can bring up things. It can expand things. It can bring things into your life that seem benefic, but benefic can mean too much of a good thing. Think of the rich kids that you know that had everything they ever wanted, and they blew it all. And they would go out and they would do drugs. They wouldn't go to school. They'd flunk out of school. Everything they could do to get attention. Yes, they had a very benefic life, but they couldn't embrace the whole entire concept of the blessings that they have, because they didn't have enough adversity to appreciate benefic blessings. So I think that's where you're at. You've been having a lot of benefic luck, and so now there's a little bit of adversity, and that adversity is making you stand up, pay attention, and think, whoa, 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 I have been getting a little bit decadent in this energy, and it's time to step up my game. It's time to put my best foot forward. It's time to control the amount of fun and pleasure seeking that I've been doing in this energy. And it's really time to refocus, because I'm losing the perspective outcome that I'm desiring. That need for approval, that need for recognition, that need to have people understand that I'm more than just a cookie cutter. Yes, I'm saying what I need to say to get monetary gain, but you know what? I'm a leader. I'm setting the trend. I know I need to shake things up. I know I need to make this, I need to challenge mindsets. And that's all this Mercury in Aquarius and the Sun in Aquarius, that like you understand, you're very receptive to energy. You're very receptive to this need to elevate others' experiences on this planet. That is your job on this planet. And so I really deeply believe that as you get this slap on the butt, this reality check, I believe that just sets you right. And it starts to individuate your thinking a little bit. And then you start to understand that you've done this kind of pattern in the past. It always led down this road. And so you need to start moving forward. You need to remove the fact that this is ego stroking, but you keep your eye on the ball. Never lose sight of what you're supposed and intended for, or what you deeply believe. What you know is intuitively pointing you north, ascension, the guide that you're supposed to be. Never lose sight of that, even if you are at the level of recognition that you wish to attain. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Capricorn, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now for you, this is working on a part of you that's going to value yourself enough to want to stand out. Now, anytime you get this Mercury in Aquarius, so Mercury just moved out of Capricorn energy. So this Mercury, your mindset was in goal-oriented energy, but now your mindset is in, okay, so you refined your goal, like you look back at the past, there was some sort of goal, there was some sort of relationship that was emphasized, and then you revisited it, you fine-tuned it, you looked at all the details, you assessed it. Now you're going to move forward in a progressive mindset toward this goal. Perhaps there was something that, even if the goal led to a dead mindset, what it's going to do is activate some sort of progressive mindset. And so there could be a unique idea that comes from all of this energy that was going on in Capricorn. So your ruler is, of course, in this very reflective part where you're trying to fine-tune, work behind the scenes, move away from situations, and create a life that I think you always deeply intended your life to be, or desired your life to be. So a lot of you are moving away from some sort of limiting belief system, where I don't think that you feel essentially valued. Some of you may have, there may have been some suffering, there may have been some loss, there may have been some sort of challenge that you had to overcome, and now you're moving toward, you're deciphering all of that, you're processing all of that, and you're moving away from all of this progressive energy. The Sun is in Aquarius, and Mercury is in Aquarius. So the Sun, your core, is aligning with the way that you think and passionately desire, and what you desire. It's really aligning your thinking with that. And so you're contemplating. And I think for some of you, I think what's blissful for some of you is that there's a sense of peace around home and family. There's an unexpected chain of events could leave it to where, you're starting to get to the point where you're seeing an ending in the suffering when it comes to family situations. I don't think you ever truly intended for your life to be exactly where it is right now. But it is. And I think for many of you, you're feeling very blessed. You remember what it's like to suffer and go through, but you have a new beginning, a new mindset, a new perspective. And I believe that it's not even ego-based at this point. You're very intuitive. You're very insightful. You're releasing yourself from these old wounds in the past, and you're making very clear decisions, and it's moving away from things that it's not like you're that person that's in psychological suffering at this point. You're that person that is moving toward a different outcome. Many of us work in these areas of deficiency, and we try to redefine them, and we keep reinventing our own deficiency, but I don't think that's you. I think for some of you, you get to blissfully move toward a new mindset. So it's almost like you're in this inventive energy where you have to create a concept that you didn't actually see maybe for some of you growing up. I think what this does is it challenges parts of you that when you were young and mindsets and programming, I don't think you felt like it's not like you didn't think that you deserved. Some of you could also be dealing with issues that has to do with a sibling or some sort of neighbor that you had connected with when you were young, or somebody that meant a lot to you or your family, somebody that was, it doesn't even have to do with blood as much as it could be somebody that you grew up with and over time they became a sister or a brother. And it doesn't have to do with that biological bond, but it's more that mental bond that you have with this person. And I think what some of you are trying to do is you feel a sense of security with that person. There's some sort of resolution that you need to find in this energy and work through. This is very expansive energy. It is testing. Okay, so when you're a Capricorn, you love this, you like a traditional conservative view on everything. You have a picture in your head and you don't stray away from it, but this isn't traditional energy. So maybe you feel closer to a relationship that you have with a friend who you've developed into this sibling type relationship than you do with your actual own blood relative. And so maybe some of that's causing some turmoil, that's causing some loss, that's causing some struggle as you're moving away from the fact that this person and you just don't even align. You have nothing in common. There is a sense of responsibility and duty with this person, but other than that, the bond that you have is towards somebody that you align with mentally, and there's a sense of security and family and home with that person more so than the other person. And I think that causes you to assess what you value. Is it just that blood brother bond or that blood sister bond or that family? Maybe for some of you that didn't have much of an authority figure in your life, or that authority figure was a very manipulative and controlling authority figure and tended to dominate your decision making. Maybe the fact that you align yourself with somebody in your life that is a mentor, is a manager, is somebody who's older than you that takes on the role of that family member, that you're starting to heal and be fed by the right nutritional source for your mind, for the healing. You're starting to feel accepted in different sources. So think of these relationships as bonds that stretch the boundaries of traditional relationships, and that's okay. We don't have to conform to that. You know what? My biological father is a complete asshole. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's completely deficient. He was never a source of any kind of goodness in my life. I had a father that I grew up with, and he was a beautiful man, and he fed me everything that made me who I was. I don't even associate myself with my biological father, but I was blessed to know, and I'm just gonna say it because I think he deserves acknowledgement. Clayton, he was a beautiful, delicious man, and he fed me security, and he accepted me, and he was my dad. He gave me away when I got married. And so it stretches that boundary, and to him I feel like I owe everything, because without him I wouldn't be me, and I wouldn't even know what it's like to have a functional father. So I'm so incredibly blessed to know this man, and I'll never forget him as long as I live. And so for some of you, that is the type of dynamic that you have. Maybe, you're stretching the boundaries, but there's peace and there's harmony, and there's moving away from past pain associated with dysfunction, and there's moving toward a family unit, nurturing a family unit or a relationship that gives you that need for family, that desire to be accepted, that guidance, that the person that you go to, that you respect, and inevitably they create this beautiful, flourishing relationship that heals deficiency. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Aquarius, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. Now, of course, this is all happening in your first house, and the sun's in Aquarius. So I think for the most part, you're feeling beautifully aligned in this energy. You get this energy. It's so hard to be an Aquarian thinker because it's such a unique perspective that I think often you don't feel like you fit. You don't feel like people accept the way that you communicate, the way that you think, the way that you relay information, the way that you retain information and interpret information. I don't think people get it. Because when you walk around the planet and you try to be this force that leads people into the future, often it's you're talking in unique concepts that people can't comprehend. And so I think it's very difficult to be used. So in this energy, I believe that you're feeling very confident, very aligned. You understand the energies at play. Your mind is aligned with the desires that you have, the way that you shine. So I think you're well received in this energy. Both of your rulers are in a delicious conversation, a harmonious flow of energy with each other right now in your hopes, dreams, and your wishes and your social networking, which is beautiful energy for you. I just think that when you're out and you're mixing and you're mingling and you're on social media, and I think you're just well received at this point. There's not a big struggle, which a lot of times there can be. I believe that for you, I believe what is going on is that in order for you to embrace this new mindset, this new goal, this new dream, this new hope, this new prospect for the future, what I believe some of you are going to have a hard time processing is the past. Perhaps some of you had a view of what you considered your life to be. And I believe that this view goes back to childhood. I really do believe. I believe that you may have been somebody who was the head of your household, or who led your household, or was always that person that everybody came to. And so I don't believe that you got to nurture relationships in a normal way. I believe that you were that person that stood out and were a little bit different amongst all your siblings. And for some of you, that was in a positive way, and for some of you, that was in a negative way. And I believe that when you have that happen to you, I believe what that did is it created this need to be independent all the time. and to think authentically and to decipher things in your own way, because it's not like you were led in the same way that everybody else was by some sort of authority figure. You weren't actually led because you were the one setting the trend for many of you, especially when it has to do with siblings. For some of you, this has to do with relationships with siblings. For some of you that now need some support, these siblings are now stepping forward and giving you the acknowledgement, the recognition, and the stability that you once gave them. So for some of you, there's some pain associated with the past. The moving forward for you can be difficult because you're releasing something that you once had invested monetary, some sort of monetary investment. For some of you, this could have been somebody that was some sort of karmic relationship where maybe there was an authority figure, primarily some sort of masculine energy, or it was somebody that was an authority figure, mentor, somebody or a father figure in your life that had stepped forward and had taught you, I think, some things. They were very dominating and controlling, and I think that you picked up on that. And so for some of you, relationships meant that to you. And as you were challenged by some sort of karmic relationship, some sort of, issue, I believe what you're having to do is resolve some issues having to do with siblings or neighbors or people that were in that immediate environment at that time. And I think it's just moving away from that is challenging. It's kind of embarrassing. It's difficult when we're moving away from something and we're trying to assess the situation. And, we have a ruler, rehashing some of this stuff that I think that goes deeply back to the place that we held in our household, the place that we had in our lives, the way that we communicated, or the way that we were taught to conform to communicating to keep the peace. I don't think that all Aquarians are these voiced. I believe many of them are very boisterous, but I believe that some of them are all about keeping the peace and being this humanitarian and saving the world and saving their family and saving this. But they often, know how to talk based on being very observant, how to deal with things, but they don't always know, how to assess their current situation. So this is a very expansive time for you. This is about working through some of those past-based issues. It's about moving away from some of these issues. I believe that for some of you, this is very sibling related. If you're allowing your siblings to have too much say in your life, or you're relying on them, or something that they're saying is affecting you greatly, and this is a relationship that you value and treasure because these are the people that you identified yourself with. It's not so much, maybe the authority or the figurehead in your life, even though that authority or figurehead in your life had some sort of controlling dynamic and established the relationship dynamics the way they were. I definitely believe that some of you have some sort of sibling, issue that you need to break free from. So you need to stop allowing your siblings to have any sort of opinion on your life, because this is your life. And as you move forward and you move away from, and as you try to gain control over your own life, and you try to attract partners that see you for the authority figure that you are in your life, this isn't about dominating others. I want you to make that very clear. This is about looking at the past, seeing all the carnage from your past and all the karmic relationships and the amount of issues that you had as far as controlling issues. And it's about moving away from that, and it's about being more acceptive, and about opening up your heart, and about releasing the constriction of having to own and empower and to dominate people mentally. It's about embracing your heart and your intuition and your ability to take a look at things and move forward without restriction, limitation, and any sort of issue that prevents you from moving forward. The energy is truly deeply blissful and beautiful in this energy for all of you working in a high vibration. There's only that small spot of people that are really trying to let go of something, that are still struggling. I think for many of you, what it is that you are feeling a sense of release and hope, and that everything is coming very easily for you. And I do deeply believe that as you move away from getting caught in your mind and psychologically processing the same information over and over again and restricting yourself, releasing yourself and just thinking, yep, I made this investment, I kind of lost money, or, you know, maybe I made an emotional, or maybe I bet on a situation and it didn't pan out, that I thought would create some sort of stability in an outcome. I believe as you move away from that, I really deeply believe that you open up opportunistic thought processes in this. Remember that these opportunities can come out of nowhere, so you have to be very mindful of the fact that social media can create these opportunities, that unusual sources, which you kind of are attracted to, can create sources for you. Remember that you have to be observant enough and not lost in the 12th house work to, and not be holding yourself back and reclusing in this energy as you're trying to process all the energy. I think you're thinking too much. For some of you, just think too much, and you think about it on a level that other people don't think about. The details, you're getting lost in the details for some of you. So don't get lost in those details, because you're basing it on fear, and fear can make us, it skews the details, I think, more or less. What we want to do is move forward, progress, release, and just work off of heart and instinct, and allow that to open us up to a brand new outcome. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Pisces, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury moving into Aquarius. And dear Pisces, for you, this is beautiful. We have a delicious energy. I think what this is about learning how to communicate effectively about what you deeply desire. And I think what can happen is you can be easily misunderstood. As you assess your situation and as you align yourself with what's going on, I believe sometimes what can happen is, you know, especially if this comes to a sibling who thinks that they know you based on some sort of past assessment of you, but they don't understand the new you, the innovative you, the person that's thinking a little bit different lately, that has a different take on life, that, you know, you just have a little bit more zing in your step. And you know what? You've worked through a lot of these past limitations. I think they're still thinking that you're making the same mistakes based on insecurity, when you're not. You're taking risks. You're enjoying energy. You're moving away from, you're making a lot of decisions based on heart-based decisions. And you know, so in the past, you may have had some failure when you did that, but that doesn't have to mean that that's what takes you into the future. I think you're so enlightened that you understand that the future doesn't define the past. The future, isn't defined by the past. It's actually defined by unique mindsets, a unique take on it, assessing it in a different way. So you're not making a decision based on some sort of ridiculous mindset. You're actually basing it on the fact that this is actually something that you honestly believe wholeheartedly in. You trust your gut, you trust your intuition, you've released the past, and this is about progressive energy moving forward. I believe for some of you that, you know, I think what you want is progression all at once. You want the whole enchilada. And sometimes the universe, God, spirit, whatever you design it to be, only makes us deficient in an area, but it enhances in other areas. So don't let some sort of a deficiency in your career life path destiny define the way that you view yourself. Because maybe what this means is that you have to enhance other parts of your life in order to create the foundation that will provide you with enough stability to then enhance the part of your life that provides you with that sense of recognition, purpose, desire, motivation, and optimism, and idyllic thinking. So it's one step at a time is what I'm trying to say. And even though you have big hopes, big dreams, big desires, and there's a lot of unique thinking going on, and you have all of these big ideas, and you may be trying to sell them, or you may be trying to get people on board with it. And if you're meeting some sort of discouraging remarks back from some of your closest friends, peers, the people that you work with, don't let that define the way that you identify your thinking, because again, we're in a very progressive mindset. So any pearls that you're having right now, write them all down. Even if they're not well received right now, that doesn't mean that eventually, though, you can't work through that to generate some sort of perspective idea that has some sort of monetary gain or some sort of mindset that will take you into the future. It just means that as of now, maybe Spirit is enhancing a part of your life that is where the highest potential of manifestation, positive energy is pouring into right now. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.